So earlier in the show, we made a nice, big, delicious pork roast. We used a pork butt roast, which Ann always laughs when I say that, but it's one of my favorite types because it's inexpensive and it just kind of falls apart on you and lots of great flavor. And we did it with potatoes and carrots and celery and this great mushroom gravy cooked overnight, or in my house overnight, but in your house, you know, if you're going to start it in the morning, all day long, low and slow. And that is meal number one. And let me tell you, this is one of Bob's favorites. This is like that, pork roast guy kind of, that will make him happy. It makes me happy too. Makes Ann happy too. So when you do a nice big roast, in this case we did like a 5-6 pounder, and I plan on doing a big one, I'm going to show you what to do, 2 different ideas on what to do with the leftovers of this pork roast. And this is just something different, and the family won't be saying, oh, pork roast again, because these are all different flavors, and they're probably not going to know that it was even the same pork roast. Ireland is one of those, she says she's not a big fan of leftovers, but if I turn it into a whole different meal, she doesn't even know. So, and I'm all about saving a buck and saving time. So this is a Mexican pork stew, and it's just fantastic and easy. You can throw this together in like 15 minutes or less. So a little bit of olive oil into a big soup pan, and I've got some finely diced onions that I'm going to get going. I love soups, I love stews. One of the problems is a lot of soups and stews are like an all-day deal, and I don't have all day on some days. I mean, some days on a Sunday, you like to make something that's, more of an all-day deal, but during the weekday, no way. It's got to be quick. And this soup, I'm telling you, it's quicker than Chinese takeout. I think we got a not so good piece of celery, so I'm going to go get another one. Sometimes that happens. Got it. I like using the hearts of celery. Okay, better. So I'm just going to dice up my celery. This is a super cheap way to feed the family too. And let me tell you, with a kid in college and another in high school, it gets expensive. So if on a Sunday I'm going through the newspaper and I'm thinking, hey, what's on sale? What am I in the mood for? And pork roast is on sale. This is like, the way to do it. I am not a big coupon person. And I know for some people it works great. My hat's off to you. It just doesn't work for me. So what does work for me is seeing what's on sale, just, perusing on Sunday when I'm having my coffee anyway, checking it out, and then going to the grocery store, whether it's chicken breast or a beef roast or a pork roast in this case, and then, making one big something of it and turning the leftovers into a few other meals. For me, that's a great way to save money. And time. Okay, so I'm going to season this up. Always great to season while you go when you're doing soups and stews. So a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Now here's the fun ingredient in this, and you may not be familiar with it. This is called hominy. So you either need 2 of the smaller 15-ounce cans, or this happens to be one 29-ounce can. And if your kids or your family likes corn, they're going to love this. But it's something that a lot of us aren't real familiar with. Something that they, eat a lot of in Mexico or down south. Us northerners, not real familiar with it. It's yummy. Trust me on this one. I do like to, real important to get rid of the liquid that it's in, and also rinse it really well. So we'll just let it hang out. Just like beans, you just kind of want to get rid of that liquid that's in there. Okay, I'm going to toast up, this is cumin, a little bit of oregano People don't think of oregano, associate that usually with Mexican cooking, but actually they use a lot of oregano in Mexican cooking. People think it's more of an Italian thing, so I like to, that's something I always have on hand, so I'm going to throw a little of that in there. A little bit of fresh garlic, jarred garlic would also work. And this is one of those, you know, when the kids are coming home from school and they're doing their homework, you can get this going and it'll be done, promise you. It's a real quick fix. Oh, and how good does that smell? Garlic gets in there, 30 seconds, keep it moving, moving, moving. I'm going to do a little more olive oil. I can tell it just needs it. And when you put the spices in there, the cumin and the oregano now, kind of toast it up rather than put it in after the soup's going. Makes all the difference in the world. Okay, in goes chicken stock. About 4 cups. Depends on how thick you want this, if you want it more of soup-like or if you want it more stew-like. 1 can of diced green chilies. These are not going to be hot. They're just really great flavor. If you wanted to add some heat, you could add some pickled jalapeno peppers. I always try and play it safe and do the hot stuff on the side. I like it spicy, so I'll put some pickled jalapenos on top of mine. In goes our hominy, which is very, very kid-friendly. Like I say, if the kids like corn, they're going to love this, and it's something a little different, exposing them to some new different flavors. This is going to be a real hearty soup. And then we're going to do some of our pork. So this is some of our leftover pork that we had from our slow cooker recipe. And I really think the best way to do it once it cools off is just shred it up, about 2 to 3 cups. And this is so good, so, so good. So stick around, we're going to do one more recipe with our pork roast, Cuban pork sandwiches, and some more fun other time-saving ideas too. So don't go anywhere because we'll be right back.